Hello Sudoku friends and welcome to yet another puzzle by País. Again, it is one of their expert puzzles. Whether we find this to be an expert level puzzle or not is really up to ourselves and what we think. So instead of worrying about this, I just enjoy solving these puzzles. And to start off today, we have a couple of fives blocking like so, and this 5 blocks here. So it's clear that a 5 must go here. And we have a 5 blocking up like so now, and we have this 5 blocking down, this 5 blocking over. So 5 must go here. And we can do more 5s, 5 block over here, and 5 blocks up, 5 here. 5 blocks up and up. Now we are going to have a 5 here or here. And we're going to have a 5 here or here. We can find an easy 3. Can you spot it? It goes in box number 5. Do you see it? This is how we spot a 3 for this square here. The 3 blocks down, this 3 blocks over. One of these must be a 3 blocking up. This 3 blocks down. Therefore, the only square left for a 3 in this box 5 is here. We talked about how we need a 3 for these squares here. Remember the 3 blocks down and the 3 blocks over? We also find ourselves with 2 9s blocking these 4 squares. So a 9 also must go in one of these 2 positions. And before we continue along that tangent, let's have a look at this 4. It blocks here. And we have a 4 blocking here. So this has got to be a 4. Now we just need a 2 and a 6 for these 2 squares, and I'm not sure I can solve those yet. What I can solve, however, is a 7 that goes in the left corner, namely here, because of these 7s blocking across here, and this 7 blocking up. We can find a 7 for this square, because this 7 blocks across here. One of these must be a 7 blocking across. This 7 blocks across and this 7 blocks down. So here's where the 7 goes. Since the 4 blocks across here and these have to be a 3 and a 9, we know that one of these is a 4. We also therefore have a 4 here or here. And we can find an 8 now, and the 8 goes in column 9. Can you spot it? Maybe it's not so obvious, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look at the 8 blocking across here. We need an 8 here or here blocking across. As I said, this 8 blocks across, and this 8 blocks here. So here's an 8. By the way, you can find a link to this puzzle in the description for the video. We found this 4, and in combination with the 4 here, all of these squares are blocked by 4s now. Therefore, a 4 must go here. Now I'm looking for a 6 here and here, but I can't find any yet. I know, of course, that this 6 blocks up and this 6 blocks over, so it's clear that one of these has got to be a 6, but I can't yet tell whether it's going to be this one or this one. A trick that I usually employ is look at these 2 squares. There must be a 2 and a 6, right? And now I'm trying to figure out what else goes in these empty squares apart from the 2 and a 6. We need to find a 1, 5, and an 8. Isn't that true? We have a 1 and a 5 blocking up here. So these 2 squares have got to be a 1 and a 5. So an 8 must go in one of these 2 squares here. And since that 8, ghost 8, as I like to call it, blocks down, we have an 8 blocking across here, we know that this must be an 8. We know that a 4 has got to go here. We need a 2, 4, and a 6 for these squares. So this is a 2 or a 6 now, and a 4 must go here or here. And since this 4 blocks here, and this 4 blocks here, we know that one of these is going to be a 4. So armed with that knowledge, let's have another look at what's missing across here. Missing are 1, 4, 6, and 7. Now have a look at this square. It can be seen by a 1, 4, and a 7. So it follows that it must be a 6. And we still need to find a 1, 4, and a 7 for the row. There's a 4 and a 7 blocking this square. Therefore, this must be a 1. And these must be a 4 and a 7. The 7 blocks down, giving me a 4 here and a 7 here. Now, with this 1 blocking down and this 1 blocking across, one of these must be a 1 blocking across. And this 1 blocks down. Therefore, this must be a 1. Now this 1 blocks here. This 1 blocks here. One of these has got to be a 1. Remember how we have 1 and a 5 in these two squares? So let me recap. We have a 1 and a 5 blocking here. This is a 2 or a 6. So 1 and 5 go here. Now we have this 5 blocking across. We have these two 5s blocking up. Therefore, this is a 5 blocking across. Therefore, this can't be a 5 anymore. It's got to be a 1, and the 5 has got to go here. Now we have these two 1s blocking up, and this one blocking across. A 1 here. We're going to have 1s here or here, and here or here now, the last two 1s in this grid. I think I found a 3, but it's very obscure and not very transparent. So let's have a look at these two squares. I think they have to be a 4 and a 3. First of all, the 4 blocks here. So the 4 blocks here. So the 4 here or here is a given. Now this 3 blocks across here. So in theory, we can have a 3 here, 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 and here. But let's have another look at these squares here in conjunction with this square. We know that an 8 and a 9 can't go here. So an 8 and a 9 have to go in two of these 3 squares. So 8 and 9s can't go here. 1 can't go here. 2 can't go here. 3 can go here, and a 4, but not a 5, not a 6, not a 7, and as I said, not an 8 or a 9. And the same is true for this square. It cannot be a 1, 2. It can't be a 3 or a 4. But it cannot be a 5, cannot be a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9, because 8 and 9 must go in two of these 3 squares. So we've got a 3 and a 4 here. And that is important because this square now can't be a 3, and this square blocks across. So a 3 has got to go here. And that in turn gives us a 3 for this square, doesn't it? Because this 3 blocks down. This 3 blocks across, this 3 blocks up. We have a 3 here. And now this 3 blocks up, so does this. And this 3 and this 3 both block across here. So here's a 3. A 2 and an 8 for these squares here. And this 8 blocks up, giving me a 2 like so, and an 8 like so. This 2 blocks across. Now we know that this must be a 2, and this therefore must be a 6. Which blocks across? This 6 blocks across, and these two 6s block down. Here's a 6. I shouldn't neglect to fill in this square. It has got to be a 6. Now the 6 blocks up here, and the 6 blocks across. Here's a 6. And we therefore have a 6 here as well. And here. Here we're looking for an 8 and a 9. 8 blocks up, giving me a 9 like so, and an 8 like so. This square now has got to be an 8. both of these 8s block these 5 squares, so here's an 8. And this square now must be a 9. We know that these were 3 and 9. Now the 3 goes here and the 9 here. We need a 9 for column 3, and the only place it can go now is here. That gives me a 2 for this square here. These 2 must be a 4 and a 9. And that seems not possible yet. What about these? They must be a 2 and a 4. Also not yet possible. Let's look at these 2 squares. A 2 and a 7. Here we can do something. The 2 blocks down, giving me a 7 like so and a 2 like so. And here we need a 9, which blocks across, giving me a 9 here, and therefore a 9 here and a 1 here. This 1 blocks down, giving me a 1 like so. Here we need a 2, which blocks here, giving me a 2 here and a 4 here. That leads to this 4 and in turn to this 7. 2, 3, and 4 still to be placed. 3 blocks here, so here's a 3, here's a 4, and here's a 4, and a final 2 must go here. A nice puzzle once again, not overly difficult, but as usual, a pleasure to solve. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.